sentenced to 4 years and 2 months in a federal prison for his crimes. Let's bring in Fox News contributor and criminal defense attorney Donna Rotunno and former inmate and prison consultant Larry Levine. Good morning. Thank you for being here. Donna, I want to go right to you because yesterday on Outnumbered, you literally predicted this would be the sentence. Here it is. Your reaction.
Absolutely. This is the sentence. He got 50 months. I had said, I think 48 to 72 was my prediction. I think this was spot on in terms of a deterrent. He wasn't getting the minimum. A lot of times, defendants that don't have criminal background look at closer to minimum sentences. However, given aspects of this case, given the video that we saw, given the statements by Cassie Ventura, given all of the culmination of facts here, I did not anticipate that the judge would give him the minimum sentence that the defense was asking for. I did think he would go sort of lower than the high number 11 that the prosecutors were asking for, but this is pretty much on par with what I expected to happen.
Now, Larry, Diddy's already done a year served, so we're really looking at about 3 years. Do you anticipate he will spend all 3 years in jail?
Now, I did some calculations using the BOP policies and programs. He should be out by about November 5th of, 2027. He's not eligible for the First Step Act or the RDAP, the drug program, which gets you out early because he has public safety factors because he's a sex offender of sorts. So, I mean, he's got a rough ride coming, but he's not going to a minimum security camp at all. He's going to go to a low-level FCI. I mean, a question is he from L.A. or is he from Miami? What's his home of record? If they determine he's from L.A., he'll probably go to Terminal Island or Lompoc. If they determine he's from Florida, maybe Miami, maybe Coleman, maybe Mariana, maybe Tallahassee. But he's going behind the fence. And the best advice I could give him, and I wrote a book called Prison Politics 101, which I sent into him. It's on Amazon. That he needs to keep his mouth shut. There's a lot of people in there who are doing a lot more time than he is that's not going to want to hear him cry or whine. They're not going to care who he is. So he needs to really humble himself. You know what I mean?
Well, we'll see, Larry, and there's no indication that he will do that. Donna, I just want to ask you lastly, I thought it was interesting that the judge said yesterday that the court was not assured that if released, these crimes would not be committed again. What say you?
Yeah, I agree, and I think really what makes that very clear and what is indicative of the judge's belief is that after Cassie filed her civil lawsuit, and remember, there's still a lot of civil lawsuits out there after this is all over with, but after Cassie filed her civil lawsuit, the behavior continued with Jane. So if you look at the timeline, Jane claims that what happened between her and Diddy happened after the civil lawsuit was filed by Cassie. So he definitely didn't learn his lesson from the civil lawsuit where he came out in that tearful video being apologetic and then continued the behavior. So I believe that's where the judge's reasoning came on that front.
That's a great point. We have to leave it there. Donna Rotunno, Larry Levine, thank you for taking time today.
Thanks, Griff.
I'm Steve Ducey.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.